welcome back to the D&N Medical Series. This is your girl Nikki, and then we have
Tamar, you don't know.
Right, and today we have a very special guest with us today. We have Shamoya Smith, and she's just going to talk to us about what it takes to transfer from one faculty to the next. So she's going to tell us the requirements, she's going to tell us how to get there, and she's going to give us the tips and tricks of being successful at the transfer. All right? So without further ado, we want Shamoya to just introduce herself for us today.
Okay, well, my name is Shamoya Smith, as she said before. I aspire to be a neurosurgeon in the future. I attended the Convent of Mercy Academy Alpha. Yes, I think that's my simple introduction. Medicine has always been my passion, and I would not have stopped until I have gotten it. So I am here today.
Right. All right. So you said that medicine was always your passion. So why has medicine been a passion of yours? Why did you choose medicine of all the things? It could be accounting, could be research, anything you could have done, but why medicine?
Honestly, I really don't know. My mom, based on my mom, I can't have recollection about my, infant days. She said I have always told her I want to become a doctor. I don't know if it's because she was a nurse. I don't know what it was. But I've always told her I wanted to become a doctor. I remember I would dress up in clothes, wrap myself up with sheet and white cloth, and I'm evil, and draw one bag of book around and pretend to be a doctor to the trees, my cousins. Because, it was a family house at the time, so I had a lot of cousins. My grandmother had a lot of children. So I would play with my cousins, trees, the dirt as medicine and stuff like that. So I really don't know, but it has always been a passion of mine. And I think when I was in third form, I didn't like business. It seemed a little bit too easy to me. So I decided to do sciences because it gave me a challenge. And then I decided to specialize in neurology when my cousin passed due to a neurological disorder. So that's when I decided that I wanted to become a neurosurgeon.
I'm sorry to hear about your cousin passing. Right. That must have been hard on you. Right.
Yeah,
but it sounds a lot like this has been a part of
you. He and I were at the same age. He and I were about 12 when he passed. And he left an impact on my life. That's all I can say.
But I heard throughout you kept saying you don't know, but it sounds a lot like you actually know. You know why you want this, girl. Right. I'm so sorry to hear about your cousin though, but yeah, you're here to make a difference, and we love to see that.
Next question. So Shamoya, our next question is why did you seek a transfer from the degree program that you were in to medical school?
Well, officially, I hadn't gotten to medical sciences on my first try. And as I said before, medicine was always my passion. So me going into SciTech was like I didn't want to go to SciTech. My mom said I should to at least get the field of university life rather than taking a gap year, because me would have done that whole already done already. Because ever since school went online for sixth form, I stopped going to school. So that would have been almost 2 years out of school. So my mom said, go to SciTech, at least get the university feel, see how it, how it feels to you, and, adjust, I guess. So I went to SciTech, applied for the transfer instead of taking a gap year and reapplying to MedSci. And yeah, medicine was the goal, so I wouldn't have stayed in SciTech.
So did you have any regrets going to SciTech? How was it for you there?
Well, I can't say I have any regrets because I ended up getting through with the transfer. But how was it for me? Well, well, it's because I have been hearing a lot of horror stories about SciTech. and wanting to transfer. And believe me, that was when school was face-to-face. So when it's online, it's a different feel compared to what someone is used to. And then I had a mentor who was about 2 years above me, who took the same route as me, who went to SciTech and then transferred. And I guess when he was helping me to register, he was a bit confused because some of the courses had changed. Chemistry had now split into 3. So it posed a little bit of challenge when he was trying to explain stuff to me because of this change. So doing 3 courses for chemistry, I mean, it wasn't as bad as I would think. It was rough. It was an emotional roller coaster. All I can say is ensure to have someone that you can count on to give you a bit of motivation, because I can tell you I gave up about 1,000,000 times. And my mentor was like, Shamoya, you are smart. You can do this. Don't worry about what you're getting right now. Just end strongly. There's always opportunity to improve. I'm like, no, but don't, can't do this. I just want to stay home. But I want to go to school. He's like, you can do this. Just continue, press on. And then, like, when I found out that one of the courses, I think it was microbiology and biochem, I couldn't do the practical course the first semester. So I decided to take up both the theory of microbiology and biochem in the same semester. And boy, that was something else. As I said, it's my first time doing it. I did not know it was so much information for both the courses. And I would have clashes, so I would end up missing some of the classes. And then to read the information was a bit of a struggle. And then second semester, when I did 4 practical courses, 4 lab courses in one semester, it was quite a lot. I would not recommend anyone do 4 lab courses in one semester. I almost died. When I tell you I was tired, because biology is 6 hours, chemistry was 4 hours, and some of the chemistry courses were face-to-face. Sometimes it's due the same day, so I could not sleep. Sometimes I was up right through the night. Sometimes I gave it in late, had to email lecturer, say, miss, internet. Sometimes the internet, sometimes like computer all freeze. At one point, the ORVLE, every time I log on, it come back off. So I'm like, right near to the deadline. And I had to beg her for a little bit of extension, and that's how she ended up making a late portal for me. I said I should not expect this in the future. But I mean, sometimes they are quite understanding. All I can say is manage your time.
Right.
It's the passion.
So important from the right. So 2 things I pick up from that is you need time management. Please don't do 4 lab courses in one semester. Try to have a balance between the
I mean, sometimes, you might have somebody who is smarter than me who can manage 4 lab courses in one semester.
Right.
I'm not telling you not to try it.
We wouldn't want that. And also,
ideally, don't do it, because I ended up forgetting some of the information that I learned the semester before. So I could not apply some of the information to the lab because I had section it off somewhere else.
Right. So and then yeah, and I was saying, and then you need somebody, a mentor sometimes, to encourage you, to pull you along the way. As she said, she had a mentor. So sometimes when she said, there is somebody there to push you along and say, no, you can do this. Okay? So you need somebody in your corner to encourage you.
Right. It's Shamoya just downplaying her intelligence for me, but I'm done. But did you die though? Did you die though?
You're looking at my boss right now.
Look at you on the D&Nmedicalseries giving advice and transferring and all these things.
Right.
Girl. So my next question for you though. You said you left from high school, you did 1 year of science and technology, and then you transferred to medicine. So yes. Who can transfer? So you can transfer from SciTech after 1 year. Can you transfer after 2 years? Can you transfer what? Who can transfer?
Okay, well, my friend, just the other day, my friend gave me a bit of information that you actually cannot transfer after the second year. I always thought you can transfer either years, whether it's first year, second year, or last year. I didn't know that it has to be within your first year. I don't understand why, but that's what he's telling me. I'm not sure if it's 100% factual, but he said he only knows about the transfer being available within the first year.
Right. But I would understand that though, because the scientific degree is a 3-year program. So if you completed 2 years, why would you just leave? You have like 9 months to go to get a whole degree. Why would
I was
you
also
just transfer?
wondering if it's because after your first year, in your second year, you actually determine your degree program.
Right.
And you probably end up stop doing one of the courses that is required for med science. I was wondering if that was the reason.
Right.
Right.
Another thing too. Right. I think it makes sense, but I believe it should be your choice if you want to transfer or not. So if you want to take the 2 years and transfer, that's your business. But I guess it's
for some person, it's not like they wanted to do 2 years. They just didn't get through with the first year. I think they should have made it available up until at least second year, because some persons applied in the first year, didn't get through, probably would have worked on the grades and probably try again on next time. It's UWI and their policy, so.
Right. But they can always try after they get the degree, because they'll have 9 months to get the scientific degree, because it's only 3 years. So if you completed 2 years, you have 9 months to get the degree, and then you apply again with your degree.
After
you're more qualified, and you can work with your scientific degree. So it can be a win-win. So yeah.
Yes.
Right. In certain cases, right. So I want to know is that at what time during the year do you apply for a transfer? Is it the first semester, second semester? What month do you remember when you applied?
I am trying to remember when I actually started my application. I know I did it early, but I can't remember if it was December or January. So I must say January. I'm 100% about January to the end of March. I know that for a fact. I'm not sure if it's actually December. So I'm gonna say January. I think I applied in January. And I didn't finish my application. I am being honest. I did not finish my application because I was like, I'm not going to get through. So I'm not going to do this. I'm just, because my mentor was pressuring me, saying, Shamoya, yes, it was January because it was after I got my semester 1 grades. And I got I think it was a 3.4. So I'm like, well, this is far from 3.8. So it don't make sense. Call my mentor and say, I now want to apply for the transfer because it don't make sense. I did not get 3.8. I'm now gonna kill off myself. I try to get it. So mega just stay. Him say, Shamoya, your Cape grades good. Just apply for the transfer and see what happens. You don't know what, if God depends on your side, you don't know what can happen. Just apply early. Once you apply early, you get your answer early. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I wrote the essay. I actually was on your YouTube when I saw a video about how to write the winning essay. So I went on that, did a little notes, and I was like, okay, let me just fix up my first essay, make it short, spicy, because my first essay was long. And when you see the second essay is like half of what I wrote initially. So I just made it short and spicy, dropping at 2 big words here and there. And I sent it with the co-curricular form that I did when I first applied, because it didn't make sense I do another co-curricular form, because I think the requirement was that every volunteer activity that you're doing has to be a year before application. It cannot be the year that you're applying. So I was like, it doesn't make sense. I add the community service that I'm doing right now. So I just use the ones that I did in high school because they would be valid. So I did the co-curricular form and the essay. I did not submit the police record because I'm like, I'm not going to get through and I'm not going to waste my money paying for another police record. So I left it. I left it just like that. And then I got an email from Miss Bryan saying I need to submit my police record because my application is being processed. When I saw that, now I was like, I don't know. As process or not be processed, you know, I get mean. I'm like, Mommy, read this. She's like, all right, but you want to do? I said, no, I'm not waste some more money. I'm not waste no $3,000. I buy a police record. And police record of his school right now due to COVID. You have to make appointments. I don't have time for that. I'm going to apply to another school. I told my mentor and I told my teacher, and they're like, Shamoya, if the person is reaching out to you, it's best to listen. That's probably God knocking on your door and you don't know. I'm like, what? But me, if you sit on that line, get police record, I might get turned on. And then I got another email again saying I need to submit my police record because there's an offer there. I'm like, what that mean? So I asked my mentor for it and I asked my teacher, I'm like, what that mean? That means they want to give it to me, but because my application is not yet finished, why they can't send it to me. So I quick do the express service. You see, if I did listen to the first email, probably could do 1 month, but I had to do the express. And I got it within the next week and I submitted it. And then I get my acceptance the day after, which was in May. I'm like, look at God.
Right.
So I almost gave up my opportunity. So all I can say is submit the application, whether or not you feel like you can do it, whether or not you feel like your GPA is good enough, you never know.
Right. Wow. Sounds like you're a bit stubborn, Sham.
Right. It's the negativity from me though. You keep telling yourself that you can't
I
do
applied to another school and I got through, so I'm like, I'm not coming back to you. I'm not coming back. Look at me. Still
Right.
at you.
Right.
Because you should have listened the first time and
right.
But
and
yeah, go get the police record.
Right. That's important. It's important though, because that's a very key thing. The extracurricular form and the police record are very important in processing your application. Because you have to be mindful because the police record important. They don't want a criminal.
They don't want
in
any
their
criminals.
program.
Criminals, right.
Yeah, out the road I do crime and something. I want to come take care of people. Not just you. So yeah,
I think the main reason she reached out, she probably think I had in mind that the police record that I submitted before would have still been valid. Because in the email she had said the previous one has expired, you have to get a new one.
Right. Oh yeah, the police record expires each year for
within a year.
Yeah. So my next question for you, though, is what's the process of transferring? Do you fill out of the application form again, or is it a continuation of your form? What do you do? Is there a new portal that is open on SAS that you have to complete another application? What's the process of transferring?
Okay, so the process for transfer is actually easier than the application. Within the application, you have to submit reference, your grades, what you're doing, what's pending. For the transfer, there's another portal on SAS that you fill out. I think the only thing that you submit is the essay, the co-curricular form, and the police record. I don't remember filling out any details because when I actually signed in, I probably fill out my name. Because when I signed in, my grades were already on the other side. So all I needed to do was check it and ensure that they have the correct grades for the subject. If the grade change, then you probably can contact them and have them change the grade on the system. The grade is already there. Your email information, address. It was actually an easier process. I don't remember filling out much. I just remember submitting documents and that was it. Oh, the only thing I filled out was where do I want to transfer to? Whether it's BDS, MBBS, or something else.
Right. All right. So great. My next question would be though, is it possible for you to transfer and still get a sponsored spot in the program of MBBS?
Well, I would say yes.
Just before just before you answer, when we speak of the sponsored spot, we're talking about a subsidized tuition where you pay, the government pays 80% for you and you pay 20%, as opposed to the full fee where you pay 28,000 US dollars per year. Annually, you pay that in the equivalent. So yes, you can now proceed.
I would have to say most definitely, because I would not have gotten accepted if it wasn't subsidized. I actually got a subsidized spot with a transfer. So yes, it is most definitely possible. It's actually it's actually more possible in comparison to just applying after CAPE, knowing that CAPE is given out, the results is given out at such a late time. Because for me, I didn't get my Unit 2 results until 2-3 weeks after school had already started, and they won't give you the subsidized spot with just half of the requirements. You have to have at least the full requirement, which is both units of CAPE. So yes, it is indeed possible to get a subsidized spot.
Love that for you. I love to see it, as not a lot of persons can find $4 million per year, you know.
Right.
The full fee, to tell you the truth, a lot of persons, if they give a minimum amount of subsidized spot, and a lot of persons, if they don't get the subsidized spot, there's no way that they can afford to go to medical school. So that's very
because initially when I was in sixth form, I was told that the subsidized spot was 120. This year, after doing a bit of reading, I find out that it's actually 55.
55, yeah. It's now 55 people.
55.
Right. It's rough out here, girl. Rough out here. So another question I want to ask you. So for the kids who want to transfer, right? What courses would you say are mandatory to do in science and technology so they can transfer after doing those courses?
Okay, so what is mandatory is most definitely chemistry, biology. That is a must. And then you can decide as to whether you want to do physics, math, biochem, and microbiology, because biochem and microbiology are semester-long courses and you have to do year-long courses. So you have to do both microbi and biochem if you choose that one. For me, I chose chemistry, biology, microbi, and biochem, because I was told those were the easier ones. I beg to differ.
If you made it, they can make it too, right?
I was told those were the easier ones. I beg to differ though. So it said physics is easy in SciTech, but I have a friend that did physics and she almost died. So it just depends on your preference, because I have a friend who did the math and he excelled. I mean, it just depends on what you're good at, what you're strong at. If you're good at reading a lot of information, then do microbi and biochem. If you love mathematics, then do either physics or the math.
So it's chemistry, biology, and one other subject of your choosing. That one other subject can be physics, microbi, and biochemistry together.
Or maths and or physics.
Oh, right. And another one is psychology. You can also do psychology and transfer it.
Here this now, look how I do psychology.
So chemistry, biology, or physics, biochem, and microbiology, math, or psychology.
Right. All right. So since you talk about friends and friends doing physics and maths, etc., do you know if any of your friends are also transferring, and what is the success rate like for transferring?
Okay, well, the success rate at this point, I'm gonna say 1%, because I only know about myself.
Oh wow. So your other friends wanted to transfer as well?
How many persons do I know that wanted to transfer? It was about 5 of us in total, with me included. And I only know about myself getting through.
Right.
So,
right. It's very competitive, for real. It's really, really competitive.
I guess I am by myself after I thought I would have at least 4 other friends.
You make lots of friends. You have 300 more people to make friends with.
To make friends with. Right.
Make friends online.
Yeah, man. This corona thing soon finish, and then you're gonna come in person and do all the night.
To finish, you said
Soon
that's
is a
coming in
relative
now.
word.
It's very
Soon is very
relative because I think I'm looking at another 3 years.
And me again, miss.
Hmm?
Let me go get
Disease will be
vaccinated,
all
guys.
up.
Go and get vaccinated.